now we are working with compound inequalities. A compound inequality is when two inequalities apply to the same number line. So earlier when we discussed number lines, we showed that 0 is here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If x is greater than 2, then we do like this. If x is less than 5, then we do like this. But if x is greater than 2 and less than 5, then we would go like this. Just have this little line segment. It's not array anymore. Array, remember, if you can remember from pre-algebra, array has one end and an arrow pointing off into infinity. It just keeps going and going and going forever. A line segment has two end points. So it's just that little, and this means x can only exist between 2 and 5. Any other number, x is invalid. So, what does that look like in terms of an actual problem? It looks like this. 1 is less than or equal to x plus 1, which is in turn less than 4. We've got two inequality signs to play with. So when we solve this, what we do is we ignore one side and then we ignore the other side. So at first we're going to ignore this and we're going to just work over here. We're going to go -1, -1. So x has to be greater than or equal to 0. I flipped the sign around, but it's like, see, the big side is facing the x, so it's still x is greater than 1. And then if I go over here and I subtract the 1, x is less than 3, and it works out like that. To make it a little less confusing, I'll drop this x down in the middle and say it's greater than or equal to 0 and less than 3. See, this -1 makes that a 3, this -1 makes that a 0, and all is well. Okay, let's see. Graph the solution set, why not? Zero, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, on into infinity. If x is less than 3, boop, but is greater than or equal to 0, boop, then there we go. That's what it looks like. I know the number line is curvy. Ignore that. I'm not perfect. Not yet. Okay. Inequalities containing the word or. Okay. That was if they're and. 3x minus 5 is greater than 1. Or 4x plus 3 is less than or equal to -5. Property of inequalities. Okay. So I'm going to add 5 to make that 6. 3x is greater than 6, divided by 3, and x is greater than 2, or -3 makes for -8. 4x is less than or equal to -8, divided by 4, we get x is less than or equal to -2. 2. And this here is the answer. And when you graph that, oh look, I'm perfect. 0, 1, 2, 3, -1, -2, -3. X is greater than 2, or less than or equal to -2. And that's what that one looks like. All right. I think that does it for this one. Inequalities are fairly easy if you understood doing equations. Then inequality should come fairly naturally. If not, go back and rewatch some of the stuff from equations, because that's the basic crux of algebra, is being able to work things across an equality sign or an inequality sign. All right, I'll see you at the next lesson.